This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's wonderful to have you along for the ride here. If you're someone that is often yelling at your television screen, if you're someone that's often going to Citizens Bank Park and screaming about a horrible approach at the plate for the Philadelphia Phillies, tonight would be the marquee example of that. And look, the proof's in the pudding, essentially, when you're talking about 9 dudes left on base today. You're talking about 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. You're talking about being 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position through the first 4 innings of the game. Then, approach would have a big part of that. And the number one thing of 3 big things today is just a lack of plate discipline by the Phillies. And all this, of course, led to Ranger Suarez having an absolute gem, a pitching clinic tonight. You know, if Ranger Suarez has been brilliant this year, then, today he was a rocket scientist, okay? And I don't mean any pun there with the Houston Astros, okay? Pun not intended. That just hit me. I'm sorry. But anyway, he was a rocket scientist. That's how brilliant he was pitching for the Phillies. 7 scoreless, and then gets into the 8th inning, 7 innings, 7 1/3, and he gives it the home run to Hummel, who, oh my goodness, Hummel, second home run of the season for him, and he gets it off Ranger Suarez, and it wins the game. Go figure. But all of it leading up to this, you're just watching Ranger Suarez go out there and dazzle from the mound. Off balance again with the changeup, keeping guys off balance as he's been doing all season long. Since he made his debut, another start where he logs at least 7 innings, another start where he logs at least 7 innings and doesn't allow more than 2 runs in that time. Absolutely incredible for him. 4 straight starts like that for him. 50 pitches through 5 innings. First inning, 9 pitches. I'm getting off track here. Okay, let me stay on number 1. Number 1 is plate discipline. I'm going to get to praising Ranger Suarez in a second, so let me just get to ripping the offense. Valdez tonight did not have his best stuff, especially through the first 4 innings. You could argue, he got ground ball double plays, whatever. Yeah, he did. But the Phillies were hitting into those double plays, swinging early in counts, and Nick Castellanos, God love him, he got a hit in his first at-bat, first pitch, steps up again. This time it wasn't nearly as clear as Valdez not throwing his best stuff because it's the first inning of the game. Anyone can have a rocky first start of the game. And he was having a little bit of a rocky first start. Valdez goes a full count to Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber did not like getting called out on that low sinker, figuring, and I think Tom McCarthy's analysis during the game was right. If you're going to get that high pitch, then you better not get that low pitch, and he was getting both. And I will say, for a pitcher's duel, you certainly had the umpire behind the plate, and Seiya behind the plate, who was giving extra inches on the corners and the top and bottom of the strike zone. So 0-0 in the 7th inning kind of made sense if you really think about it. But with all that being said, this strike zone tonight, Valdez in the first couple innings was not near it in a lot of instances. And I know there could always be the argument, well, because the strike zone was so wide and tall and low that he had to swing at everything. Not necessarily, because Valdez was still throwing pitches out of the strike zone, well out of the strike zone. And Kyle Schwarber seemed to get it. Nick Castellanos, and not so much. You know who really didn't get it tonight was Johan Rojas. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do at the plate. But in the first 3 innings of this game, you have opportunities to score. Second inning of this game in particular, Otto Kemp leads off with a walk on 5 pitches. Hello! Doesn't have his best stuff if he's pitching around Otto Kemp, essentially, and Otto Kemp has the wherewithal to take some pitches. Then Edmundo Sosa comes up there. He gets the single, so you got first and second with nobody out. Buddy Kennedy goes up there. He grounds into the 1-5 fielder's choice. First and second with 1 out now. Rojas strikes out. Turner swings at the first pitch. Why? Again, struggling was Framer Valdez in this start tonight. And then Trey Turner flies out to left field in one pitch, just like that. Bing, bang, boom, done. So that was killed. First and second, nobody out. Killed. Third inning, again, a leadoff walk, Kyle Schwarber. Bohm strikes out. Castellanos swings at the first pitch. He grounds into the 6-4-3 double play to end that threat, if you will. Another leadoff base runner, a walk, and still nobody patient at the plate, letting Valdez just continue to get himself into more and more trouble, compound the problems. Instead, you help him out of the jam. And look, you guys know by now, I am not the guy that bitches and moans about swinging at the first pitch. This isn't Little League. You have an opportunity as big league hitter to jump on a first pitch fastball. You're going to take that opportunity. You think you know what's coming. You want to jump on that opportunity. But if you're going to jump on that opportunity, you better guess right, especially if it's a pitcher struggling out there as much as Valdez was in the first couple innings of this game. And unfortunately, in this particular instance, Castellanos did not guess right in the situation. Fourth inning, another situation there. Get a runner in scoring position in Edmundo Sosa. You have second and third with one out. After Kemp led off, got the one out base runner on the E3. So you have an opportunity to get on base there. Yeah, Phillies had 4 walks, 4 hits, I believe it was today, 5 hits maybe. I'll check the box score in a second. And 2 errors, reached base on 2 errors. And still nothing across the plate in this game today. Against a good baseball team. They were giving you outs. Phillies, a good baseball team, giving them outs, unable to capitalize on it. The closest they got to scoring was in the 4th inning there when Kemp was thrown out at home. A great play by Paredes, just simple as that. Right on contact. He made a great play on it to get to it, then made a great play to throw home, and they were able to tag out Kemp, so it stayed scoreless. And then Johan Rojas, after trying to lay down a bunt, actually worked an 8-pitch at bat somehow and ended up flying out to center field. At that point, the Phillies were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position in the first 4 innings of the game. Still 0-0. That's, to me, I feel like that's where you lost it. Now, I know Rojas isn't getting a lot of opportunities here, and I know against Hader there, it was advantage Hader by far. But I don't know what he's doing swinging at a 2-1 pitch that was out of the strike zone, trying to jump on something. Dude, unfortunately, you're not getting a lot of playing time, so you get thrown in there against somebody like Josh Hader. Good luck to you there in the 9th inning. Woo, baby. Just outmatched, unfortunately. So, number one to me, the approach, especially in the first 4 innings of the game, terrible by the Phillies. Valdez was giving you opportunities, and you failed to capitalize on it. And also failed to let him fail. He doesn't have it tonight, boys. Let him keep throwing. And instead, jumping on first pitches, jumping on second pitch, just terrible. I think it was Trey Turner, one instance, ball one, and then tried to jump on something, and then that was the out. He was trying to give you the game in the first couple innings. And now, number 2. Yes, the biggest thing is that Ranger Suarez's gem was wasted. But why was it wasted? Let's dig a little deeper. Well, the offense was terrible. Why were they terrible? I just laid out for you what happened in the first 4 innings. Ranger Suarez is just on such an absolute tear right now for the Phillies. And the really sad part about it is that he is putting up historically great numbers since his first start of the season, which I know you could easily just chalk up as a unfortunate situation where you go up there and you have a guy pitching for you that is going to go in his first start of the season and have his essential extended spring training. Well, he goes up there tonight. He gives you 7 2/3. He strikes out 7. He walks 2. He gives up 4 hits. It's now 4 straight starts of 7 innings or more, allowing no more than 2 runs. He's only allowed 2 runs, actually, once in his last 4 starts. In all of them, he's gone 7 innings. He had 50 pitches through his first 5 innings of work. If you look at his first 3 innings, 9 pitches, 9 pitches, 9 pitches. He didn't get to double digits in an inning in pitches until the 4th. It was, and he had 12. He was just unconscious out there. And the defense, I feel like today, he had a line drive, hit at his head that he caught. He had a grounder, a line drive that he ended up doubling off the first hit of the game. That came in the 6th inning. First hit of the game, Diaz, he's able to double off first base. Or was that the 7th? Maybe that was the 7th. I can't remember. But he was just on top of everything. And the first hit that he gave up was that slow roller, the opposite side of where Edmundo Sosa was shifted at second base. So it was just hit him where they ain't type of situation, a little bad luck on that side. Hummel comes up, gets the single, first and second, nobody out. Then he gets the double play ball on a curveball that he got him the top there. That was great. And then he strikes out Paredes after walking Pena to get out of that inning. He was just masterful tonight. That's the word that keeps coming to mind when talking about Ranger Suarez and what he was able to do out there. But unfortunately, seeing all this play out for him, you see his fourth straight start of 7 innings or less, or 7 innings or more, with the 2 or fewer earned runs, has an opportunity to get the win tonight, which would have been his 3rd consecutive win in that time. Comes up short. Instead of improving to 7-1, he drops to 6-2. And that looks a little bit different. Bats weren't there. I have no issue. Let me just say this. 0 issue with him going back out there for the 8th inning. He was at 91 pitches. He had been cruising. He had gotten himself out of jams. I let him go out there again for that 8th inning, not even thinking twice about it. Most pitches he has thrown in the season is 103 pitches. He did that over 6 innings. He was at 91 going into that 8th. I was absolutely saying bring him back out there, make it happen. And unfortunately, that's where he gave up a home run to Hummel. Again, 2nd home run of the season for him. 3-2 cutter, middle of the plate. The worst hitters are going to put a good swing on that one, and he put a great swing on it. 390 feet, and that was that. That would be the difference in the ball game. Number 3 of 3 big things, and this one also sucks. The Mets lost tonight. So the Phillies are going to be at the Braves after this series. The Mets are at the Braves right now. The Mets are, I think, are hosting the Braves, actually. The Phillies had an opportunity to go up 2 games on the Mets in the division, and that would have been just lovely. Just lovely. But unfortunately, not in the cards. They are in New York, and the Braves beat them 7-4 tonight. That's the way that one went down. So a missed opportunity there for the Phils. All right, when we come back, I'm going to take your comments, see how you guys are feeling about this one, because this one just sucks. This one just sucks. We'll be back. We'll break it down a little bit further when we get back and get to your comments as well. Phillies missed opportunity. Phillies waste a gem from your boy Ranger Suarez. This is Locked On Phillies postcast and a Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. But hey, let's get excited for a second here. Let me tell you about Rugiet. You guys heard about this? Guys, fellas, you've probably heard about Viagra or Cialis. Yeah. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you've tried them. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Ready. That's right. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rugiet 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average just 15 minutes, and effects last up to 36 hours, so you stay confident and in control when the moment is right, and it's completely online. How about that? Rugiet connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships you a treatment discreetly to your door. You can even read real customer reviews on their site. How about that? So head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code LockedOnMLB to get 15% off today. That's Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code LockedOnMLB for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but not FDA approved, and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit Rugiet website for full safety information. And how about Monarch Money? Ever wish managing your money was a little easier? Well, with Monarch Money, it can be. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch Money puts you in the driver's seat, and it's like having your own personal CFO in your pocket, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app, so much more. It's a complete financial command center. You can track your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. So think about this financial goal of yours. Maybe I have young kids, so I'm always thinking about college savings and all that stuff. If that's the route they want to go, want to be ready for it. With Monarch Money, it makes it so much easier. And you guys have heard me talking about before. If you just got married, if you just moved in with your partner, maybe you're putting the accounts together and all that stuff. Monarch Money helps you manage all of that. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Oh, my goodness gracious. I didn't even do this yet.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Ranger Suarez.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
7 times the Phillies had a turning point in this game. 7 times. 1 for every time they left a runner in scoring position. That is the turning point. And if I had to name another turning point, I'm not, because I don't care. It's the Phillies that messed this one up. Damn it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Wasting Ranger Suarez's gem. That's what you'll be talking about. And then maybe the NBA draft as well. By the way, for all the people that have followed me from here, Locked On Phillies Postcast, which is kind of where it all started for me about a year ago with Locked On Sports. For all the people that kind of have followed me over, through this, thank you. Since I took over with Keith Pompey, since I joined Keith Pompey doing Locked On 76ers daily podcast. Yeah, first off, thank you for following me over there, and thank you for the support you guys have given that show. It has been incredible. Thank you for that. That has been a blast. So, yeah, we will be talking about the 76ers draft tomorrow as well on Locked On 76ers. Now let's see what you guys are talking about right now in the chat check here. I'll go all the way up here. Let's see what's going on here. Graham Francis, what's going on, buddy? Any chance of a hit? Anyone? Nope. JDM, 1 run should be enough to beat the Phillies tonight. You are correct. Jerry Von Skyver, please don't ever have both Otto Kemp and Buddy Kennedy in the starting lineup together. Not a fan of this platoon crap. Sosa fine, Buddy, no. Yeah, here's what I find interesting. So, I was just starting to come around on that Max Kepler fella. And then all of a sudden, Otto Kemp is playing left field. So, your key offseason acquisition, for your lineup at least, is not hitting lefties. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. RF, I'm frustrated Ranger lost the game. So are we. So am I. I'm with you. Evelyn, what's up, Evelyn? How many did we leave on base? 9. 9 dudes left on base. Too many. Marsh would have been put in for Kennedy or Rojas in the top of the 9th. I don't want to hear your lefty on lefty BS. Right? Henry, so Topper looked at the lineup and thought, more platoons. I believe I captured that, right? Let's throw Kemp in left to make room for Buddy. Right? Morgan Landy, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't. Tonight's the type of game that you look at Rob Thompson and you just go, dude, what are we doing here? Like, are we just trying to be humble after beating the Mets 2 out of 3? Because I've had enough humble pie when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies as of late. I'm humble. I'm very humble. Okay. The top shelf I can go to right now is playoff team. Still top shelf. That's as high as I can go. And then I look at the situation he's putting guys in, and I don't get it. First off, it'd be one thing if you just saw randomly Johan Rojas more, but Brandon Marsh has been hitting the ball well lately. I don't. When you play crap teams, that's when the scrubs get time. or the guys you at least think of as scrubs. That's when they get time. Not when you play a team like the Houston Astros, not when you face a pitcher like Valdez, even though I've said a million times he didn't have his best stuff tonight. Still, on this given night, I'm not putting Johan Rojas out there. No, thank you. Evelyn is exactly right. Kemp in left field, I don't have a problem with. And that, yes, it is because whenever it is that Bryce Harper does come back, hopefully in the next 5-6 days, they can have him at first and Otto Kemp in left field. Jerry Von Sciver and Marchand off the bench. Wouldn't have hated that. Frickin' Phillies, great name. The table was set several times, but the meal never came out, right? Well, I would argue the meal was right there in front of the Phillies, and the Phillies were like, does this have gluten? Oh, take it back. That's kind of how it feels. Can you send this back? It's a little cold. That's what that felt like. Polar Buck, what's going on? 0 for 7 runs scoring position, not acceptable. I agree. What a bad loss for the Phillies as far as you can't bench the bar. Right. Timothy B. Farzetta, the manager, again reminded us of how much of a boob he is. Why is Buddy Kenny even in the lineup? Edmundo Sosa should be pissed, and they still can't hit Framber Valdez. Shake my head. Yeah, here's my thing. I'm more pissed at the later inning situations than I am the lineup card. And the reason being is guys at top of the order that had opportunities to drive in runs didn't do it. I mean, like, it was an error, fine, big deal, but he got on base, Otto Kemp tonight. Having Otto Kemp in left field doesn't bother me. Edmundo Sosa's been swinging a hot bat lately, 2 hits tonight. I don't mind that at all. Him being in the lineup is great. What gets me is 1 through 4, the first through 4 innings today, you had opportunities to make something happen. And it was Trey Turner. It was Nick Castellanos. It was these guys coming up small in the bigger situations. That's what drove it. I look to the player's performance in the first 4 innings that I look at more so than I look at Rob Thompson. Rob Thompson, I look at Johan Rojas. I'm like, why are we talking about this? Why are we still doing this? If he barely plays, why are you putting him in this type of situation? That's dumb. If he barely plays, why are you keeping him in that situation against Hader in the 9th inning? That also makes no sense, especially when you got a runner on base already. That's where I'll look at Rob Thompson. And as I said earlier, bringing Ranger Suarez back out in the 8th inning, no problem with that whatsoever. 91 pitches, yeah, you're going back out there. Unless you're a big fan of this Phillies bullpen, you really want guys to come in. Really hoping for Raging Farzy. God, I'm so mad, says Evelyn. This must be before the show started. Thank you. Top 2 or 3 loss of the year? Okay, I'll say that. Okay. Jerry Von Sciver, our dip you-know-what manager. There you go. Crazy, can't stand this team sometimes. I agree. Okay, John, you and I are more on the same page here. John, Buddy and Johan in the 9th inning. Why, Rob? Why? I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know. That's where I have the bigger problem. Sir Sketchable. I already like where this is going. Coldest things in the known universe. 5, the lifeless void of deep space. 4, Rangers frosted tips. 3, absolute 0. 2, the ice in Rangers veins. 1, the Phillies bats against Framber Valdez. Right? I'm with you there. Julian C., they cut Clemens to keep these guys. That is correct. Josh Peck, would you consider Farzetta a Phillies apologist? What the hell did I apologize for tonight? Or ever. That's great. Julian C., they keep bringing up some bums, it seems, from the minor leagues. True. Jerry Von Sciver, Ranger Suarez, a rocket scientist. Rob Thompson, a dumbass. Yeah, they're definitely not in the same school. That's for sure. Anthony Motti, I do think we're getting closer and closer to that situation where Justin Crawford is coming up. But here's the deal. If Justin Crawford's coming up, it's a classic case of he's coming up to play. He's not coming up to platoon. It was the same situation like we were talking about Otto Kemp potentially taking over at second base for Bryson Stott. If Bryson Stott continued to struggle, Bryson Stott had a couple of big hits in back-to-back games, so you'd think maybe he's starting to turn it around, so they might give him another opportunity there. But somebody said, oh, it's easy, you option Sosa. Well, now Sosa's hitting. But even before then, Sosa's not an everyday player. If Otto Kemp is going to stay at the major league level, he's got to be playing every day. Same thing with, even more so with Justin Crawford, being that he's more of a hotshot prospect. Polar Buck, not in the market. I'm just going to say not in the market. Dean Howe 3, what's going on? Yes, please stop running Ranger Suarez out there. Yes, please and thank you. Yes, please and thank you. Here's where I'll crush the Phillies but defend Johan Rojas. So let's get this straight. You want Johan Rojas to go out there against Valdez. You want Johan Rojas to go out there against Josh Hader. You barely play Johan Rojas, and when you play Johan Rojas, all you do is ask him to bunt, and you're expecting success against Hader in the 9th inning. That was the plan, right, Phillies? Right, Dave Dombrowski? Right, Rob Thompson? That's the plan? Great plan, boss. Pat McAfee's coattails. What's going on? I didn't know Nick Sirianni's older brother hosts Locked On Phillies. Well, I would be Nick Sirianni's younger brother. Thank you very much. By 1 year. Actually, 2 now. He just had a birthday. He's older than me. Thank you very much. I'm just bald. Oh, wait, Anthony. What's up, man? This might be weird, but when I got granted free agency from radio, did you hit me up on Twitter? Because well after the fact, I actually looked at the post and read people's things, and somebody wrote something very similar to that. And if that was you, thank you for that. That was very nice. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Ayush. As an Astros fan, that was a hell of a game. Good game to y'all. Thank you. I would go ahead and say that I don't think a Phillies fan has ever dropped in another show's chat and be like, hey, good game, everybody. Ranger Maddox. That's funny. There you go, Harry. Thank you. I agree. Joseph, I do agree. I do feel that the game was lost before. Seeing those guys come up in the 9th inning, not exactly comforting. So thank you. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Phillies tomorrow. Here's the good news. Phillies have Zack Wheeler on the bump tomorrow against Colton Gordon. Wheeler, obviously a righty, going on against the lefty, Colton Gordon. Gordon is 2-1 of the season with a 4.54 ERA. To this point on the year, he's a 26-year-old lefty out of St. Petersburg, Florida. He is coming off a start against the the A's. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 runs overall, 2 long balls he did give up on that one. Prior to that, that was over 5 innings. Prior to that, he went up against the Twins, 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 home runs. So, hey, Phillies, maybe some home runs tomorrow. That'll be nice. Thanks for watching. That one is also at 8:10 tomorrow, and we'll be back with you guys for that one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys catch me, Sixers fans, as well, on Locked On 76ers show with Keith Pompey. We will be on live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. ahead of the draft. So don't miss that. Like and subscribe to Locked On 76ers and like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with your Locked On Phillies daily content. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies postcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Here's the bouncing back tomorrow. See you guys then. Bye.